Good morning. Are you playing? It's about 7 o'clock and Luke was up. Hey, see, what time were you up? You were up at about 11:30 to eat, then at 4:30, and then 6:15. So definitely not sleeping through the night yet, but much better than it was. And so we're getting our day started. Kurt just went to work. He had to be at work at 7. And today's a special day because we are actually going, Kurt and I, to St. Louis for the first time since well before Luke has been born. And we're going to see a show at the Muny, and so I thought last minute that'd be fun to show you guys, if I can, a little bit of our day. And so I made my Spark drink and I am about to watch YouTube, the Royal Family channel specifically. So here's my Spark, got it going on. I just finished reading Charlotte's Web to the kids the other night and they were spellbound. They loved it. So Kangaroonie's here. So yeah, just a quiet little morning. Today's the last day of Vacation Bible School, so the kids are going to be getting up and getting ready to go do that. Okay. And Kurt's mom is coming to watch the kids. So that'll be fun. I love you. So the kids are about to go to VBS. You excited? Mm-hmm. What you doing? Come here, show me your bracelets. What were you doing with your bracelets?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to trip them. So I made this one last night, and then I also made this one right here. And then there's
cute.
Another one. Land, you know what that one is?
So we're waiting on Papa. My dad is has been helping me get them to VBS, and then hang on, it's not focusing, but see if I can, yeah, it's not focusing very well. But my dad will be here to pick them up soon. Has Papa been taking you every morning?
Yeah.
He's been a huge help because this is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing. Yeah. Okay, so we're convening about iPad stuff and we're waiting on Papa. Alright, bye. Have fun at VBS. There they go. Love you. There they go. Kanga's saying bye. We're gonna go to VBS. Bye. Say bye. 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 There they go. Bye. Fun fact, there they go. The neighbors are getting a swimming pool put in and they're using our fire hydrant. I don't know if you can see, like, over there. And the hose is all the way through our front and backyard because they're behind us, but they're getting their pool filled up today, their new swimming pool. It's Kanga guarding the territory. So yeah, pretty in the morning. Hey. Go take care of Lindley. Hey guys, so it's the first time I'm making an appearance. Yeah, I think it's, what time is it? Like 11, it's like 11 in the morning. Yeah, 11:20. And the kids are still at VBS, my older two. And my mother-in-law should be here fairly shortly because she's gonna take care of the kids while Kurt and I go tonight. But in the meantime, Lindley and I are gonna try to straighten the bedroom because it's a disaster.
Hi.
What are we doing? What are we gonna work on?
We're gonna work on our bedroom for Mia.
Yeah, because Mia's coming. And here's the deal. Here's the deal. They just play really hard in the room, which they're kids, you know what I mean? Like, I want them to feel like they can play in their room. It's just so bad. Like, it's so bad. Oh, well, the dirty clothes have been kind of dealt with, so that's not as bad. But then we have, like, the book situation. So, I mean, it's like I'm saying, I am thankful for the book reading, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that we're all into books. We just need to do a little straightening, and the girls play really hard in here, and that's how it should be, right? That's how it should be. So we're gonna straighten, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And get things in good shape.
Yeah.
So we can play with Mia and actually find things, huh? Yeah.
We have to strain our closet too, because look, it is a disaster in there.
Oh, it's a disaster in there? Well, I thought it actually looked pretty straight, all things considered.
Except some clothes is on the floor.
Yeah, we'll have to deal with that, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right. So we're going to get to work, and we'll check in a sec, huh? And Luke's here for more support, huh? You can help? Yeah. Okay, so we're on the way to St. Louis. Finally made it into the car. I skipped a lot in there because my mother-in-law got into town and we were catching up, and Kurt got home from work, so we were getting all our stuff together and all that. So I'm drinking my lunch and we are headed to St. Louis, and we live about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from St. Louis, and this is the first time that we've been gone, like I said earlier today, like gone for longer than literally like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So very excited, and we're going to see the show Jersey Boys, which is one of my favorite shows, and we're going to see it at the Muny, which they just celebrated, was it 1902? No, what year? 100 years. Yeah, they just celebrated 100 years. So if you really think, and I'll show you footage if I can once I'm in the theater part. It's basically an outdoor amphitheater, and it's been like running since, 100 years ago. So it's in Forest Park, which was the site of the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. So it's a beautiful, I hope I can show some footage of that as we're driving through, because we love it so much. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous park, and the homes in that area are really, really pretty. And for the last several years, we've had season tickets to the Muny, but just because of having the baby this year, we just knew like it wasn't feasible. And ironically, like this is the 100-year anniversary this season, and it's every summer they have a season. So it starts in like June, I think, and it goes, I cannot get my hair to look right. I say that in every vlog, I can't get my hair to look right. It starts in June, and I think it goes till August is the season, and there's like 8 or so shows. And ironically, this was a season that I had really high hopes for, because it's the 100-year anniversary, and I was not thrilled with the lineup. And the way those things work with me is like I like for there to be a high ratio of shows that I really, really love, but I also like discovering new shows. And so there's two sides of that coin. I could have discovered some ones that I really like, but it just didn't work out with the baby and all that. So it's been good to kind of take the summer off, in the sense that we could just kind of relax and, see how he was doing. So Kurt, for Mother's Day, got me tickets to this show, Jersey Boys, which is one of my favorite shows ever. I love Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and this is their story. So Jersey Boys is the story of that scene group. I love the music so much, and so that's one of my favorite favorite shows, and then he got me tickets to meet me in St. Louis, which has never, or maybe it has, I think they have performed it at the Muny, but it's been forever ago. And it's appropriate they end the season on that show because St. Louis. So, I'm super excited about seeing that one in August. But the big reason that I'm pumped about this too is that Mark Ballas from Dancing with the Stars is playing Frankie Valli. And I love Mark Ballas, and so I'm super excited. Aren't you excited about seeing Mark Ballas?
I'm stoked.
I'm very excited. I met Derek Huff. That's a good fun fact about me. I love Derek Huff. Kurt knows this. And so he and Mark are buddies, and so by default I love Mark too. So any Dancing with the Stars fans out there, you will totally understand my excitement. But before, we're getting to leave a little early. Not as early as I wanted to, but Kurt has a job, so we had to wait until he got off work. But we're gonna go, I think we may split off and do different things, which isn't what we usually do, but I think I'm just biting at the bit to see different scenery away from where we've been for the last 5 or so months. But I may just go to the mall and walk around. I really just want to go to Anthropologie. It's my favorite store, so we'll see. I don't know what all we'll do. There's a Home Goods. I mean, we don't have a Home Goods where we live, and so I'm always wanting to go to Home Goods. I'm having to prioritize, but anyway, since Luke's doing better with his eating and things like that, I feel like we're gonna have a little more freedom to go. Even taking Luke with us to St. Louis, I feel like would be easier now that he's just doing better. And I'm gonna do an update coming up about him because we have made some changes and we've made some adjustments to things, and I won't get into all that now, but he's gonna be 5 months on the 19th, on July 19th. And so we're definitely shifting into, out of the newborn season and into a different season. And so yeah, it's a lot that's been going on, but I mean, it's good. It's good things. And so I feel like we're getting our bearings a lot better. And this is how it's always been for me and babies. I really feel like I am almost paralyzed and a recluse until they're 5 months old. And then I emerge, So that's where we are, and I'm so excited. I feel like I should have you say something. I mean, everyone says that Kurt never talks, and he does talk, just don't you talk?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do on the way up here is we're going to discuss the Enneagram.
Discuss the what?
The Enneagram. Your number.
Oh,
personality
that,
number.
yes.
Because my sister Andrea is majorly into the Enneagram, and so she's wanting our whole family to discover our personality types, which me and Andrea totally are in this sort of thing, and now my sister Alyssa is majorly into it, and we're all figuring out our numbers. And any Enneagram fans, please feel free to comment. So we're gonna listen. I may make Kurt listen to a podcast, but you're interested in that sort of thing. I mean, he's interested in that sort of thing, right?
Psychology.
Yeah, he's interested in that sort of thing. And his initial test put him at a personality 5. His number is a 5, which is in line with, he loves, just gaining knowledge about different scopes of things. And so it makes sense that he would be interested in these podcasts. So it all works together. For the record, I think I'm a 2, wing 1. I'm still exploring, but I think Andrea is fairly confident that I'm a 2. So I'm gonna explore that a little more. So I think that's our project on the way up here, is to just, gain some knowledge about our personality types. Are you excited about the show? Anything to say?
Going to the Muny is one of the highlights of our summer.
Yeah, okay, let them hear you talk about this. You describe the Muny, or what do you like about it?
Well, it's unique to the summer because it's outdoors. You think it would be hot, but usually around 8 o'clock the sun gets behind the trees, so it's almost always pleasant.
Well, and the shows don't start until 8:15 p.m. because the sun has to go down for it to be dark enough, you know what I mean, for it to be a cool atmosphere. So they have all these fans that are going to keep the airflow, and we really, we've been doing that. What was the first year? Was it 2012 or 12? 11 or 12. It was like 2011 or 12 that we started going to the Muny. And it's become so special to us. And I've missed not going this summer. And the reason I like it is that when we do have season tickets, it's like a guaranteed, you know, not every week, but it kind of ends up being frequently. It feels pretty frequent during the summer in those, you know, 3 months that you're going. But it was like a guaranteed time away for me and Kurt, and I think that's what we've really missed in this newborn season. And it's obviously that's just what happens when you have a baby, but I think it's going to be really nice to be back in St. Louis. We love the city, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to show you guys kind of what we're doing, and so you guys can learn about something that's special to us. So we will check in soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, so we're at the St. Louis Galleria, and we're at the Cheesecake Factory. It's a chain, I know, but we don't have one where we live, so it's easy because it's right there in the Galleria. But I'm getting the crusted chicken Romano. Does anyone else love that dish? Crusted chicken Romano. Probably super fattening. In fact, I know it's super fattening, but whatever. So we are gonna eat here, and then we are headed to the show. And I'm waiting on Kurt to get here. He is just doing a little shopping, I guess. So we'll check in soon. Okay, so we are entering Forest Park. And I told Kurt we're running a tad behind. Like once we get parked, we may be able to show more. But I wish I could show you guys more of Forest Park. It's just gorgeous. And it's expansive. Like there's different areas to it that you totally can miss. So we're not really getting to see like as much as I want to show you, but maybe as we're walking. But this is really, this feels very urban to me in the sense that there's one of the old buildings in the World's Fair. So it feels very urban to me because this is where everyone who lives kind of in the urban part of St. Louis kind of comes to chill, you know, and have green space. So it's neat. It's just kind of neat that this is as close to us as it is. Isn't that Barnes Jewish straight ahead?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that big building straight ahead is Barnes Jewish Hospital, and it's intense. Kurt had to have, what surgery was that you had?
I had a foot surgery.
He had foot surgery there. And it was massive. Central Fields, so there's like, is that base? No. They had like some baseball fields here somewhere. This is probably really boring, but I think it's really pretty and cool. So everyone just kind of like parks everywhere in Forest Park and then kind of makes their way. It's really cool because people will picnic. They'll bring stuff and they'll like picnic in Forest Park. And then you're allowed to bring in like soft coolers. So you can bring in your own, you know, if you want to bring in snacks or drinks, you can, which is kind of rare these days, I feel like. But it's also neat because they have a limited number of free seats in the theater at the very top and back of the theater, and it's first come first serve. But they've made, you know, the theater available to everyone in that sense, so you can get a free ticket if you get in line early enough, which that's the caveat. But it's at the very back of the theater that they give you, that they have free tickets. Okay, so we're walking in, and I'm not confident in my vlogging skills, so I've never vlogged, well, I've vlogged in public, like on our trips, but not like in front of a lot of people, you know? So I feel very on the spot. I feel like people are watching me thinking like, who does she think she is? Huh? But we're going to walk in and get our seats here. And this is good because we're gonna approach like from the top of the theater. And so I can show kind of the courtyard area and stuff. And when we've gotten here early, other times they've had entertainment and stuff before the show in the courtyard area, which is kind of cool. So it's really fun to show you that. It's kind of weird, like I don't know, I feel very weird vlogging like this. But I don't even know how many seats.
10,000.
10,000?
Mhm.
Wow. So I'll show you in just a sec. There's pictures of that. Largest outdoor musical theater. Pretty cool. So they've added these gates for security, which, you know, is good. So we're gonna go through security and then I'll show you guys the theater. Okay, so here's another view of the plaza. We're at the very back of the theater and you can see there's fans. Those were new a couple of years ago. And you can see the theater, just how massive it is. So these are the free seats that are filling up here at the back. And then that's the stage down there. So you can see, I mean, just how many seats. It's absolutely massive. And then down front, I wish we could show you guys the gazebo. Maybe we can, we'll see. But you can kind of get a really good view of the scale of this thing. It's huge. And so they have these fans that circulate air. And it's really not bad, right? I mean, it feels good.
The sun's about to be below the treetops.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do a little walkthrough. Where are we going? Let's go back this way, maybe. So you can see the free seats fill up, and then I just came back here to show you guys kind of the view. But then once we're closer to our seats, then I'll show you where we sit. So this is how we usually walk down into our seats. The seats that we have tonight are close to where we usually have season tickets. So you have this long walkway down. There's some refreshments. And something that's cool is that the trees are actually on the stage. So like they built the stage around the landscape. So it's just kind of a unique atmosphere. So you can kind of see, when I zoom in, you can see the trees actually on the stage, which is really cool. So it's really neat whenever the stars are out and the trees are lit up, and I mean, it really is cool. So you can see just kind of the scope of everything. So we were gonna see if we could show you guys, I don't know, we'll just have to see how time looks, but we may show you the front if we have time, but this is the Muny. Okay, so we're kind of walking towards the front, but this is a fun fact. This is the rehearsal area for the Muny. So it's this outdoor pavilion that they use for like dinners and things. Like sometimes they'll have pre-show dinners that they do, but this is the rehearsal facility. So if you can imagine how hot that is, this is where the cast rehearses. So you can kind of see some of Forest Park, which is the best way to go out down this way, maybe.
If you want to see the park, you can go to the ash here and look at some
Yeah.
of the trees.
So it's cool because I mean this is like old school, you know. This is where they rehearse. And it looks like some sets and things like that. But this is cool. It's a little picnic area where people are kind of enjoying some refreshments. And then you can kind of see some good views of the park. Isn't that pretty? So it's really pretty. So St. Louis Gym. Okay, yet another view. You see the seats are filling up. So this is kind of a view, not quite from the stage, but you know what I'm saying. It's pretty cool, huh? Filling up. And then there's the stage right there. Right there. Okay, so just a little fun fact. Mike Isaacson is the artistic director and executive producer, and I'm obsessed with Mike. I love Mike, and he always does this fantastic write-up for each show. And I'm reading this, and we are the first theater in the world to stage a new production of Jersey Boys. So it just went off Broadway. And so without getting into all the detail, basically like it takes forever for a musical to be licensed once it's done with Broadway. So like it has to finish there. There can't be any tours going at the time. And so Jersey Boys like just finished, and because this is the 100th Muny season, they are letting us basically stage it and create a new production of it. So it's huge that we're seeing this, and I'm super excited because like you can tell the stage is different than the Broadway show, and it's just so exciting. So we get to see this first, like it's the worldwide premiere of a new staging of Jersey Boys, which is really cool. So thanks, Mike. We sure appreciate it. Y'all, there he is. There he is, Mark Ballas. Oh my gosh. Dancing with the Stars for 19 seasons. Oh my gosh. Look at this. I am so excited. Mark, we are so excited to see you. Just got done with Jersey Boys, and it was amazing. It was so good, and it was really hot, really hot. Even with the fans going, it was really hot. But it was so good. Did you like it?
Oh yes.
He's driving, so I don't want to like distract him. But if you haven't seen the show, we kind of laugh because I mean it's definitely like Jersey language, if you know what I'm saying. And they even modified, like, I don't know if you remember this, but the actual Broadway show has even worse language, and they cleaned it up a little bit for the St. Louis crowd. But it's a really great show, and I love Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, always have. And so learning their story, I mean, it's so interesting to me, so fascinating. And this is what I always do after I see shows like that are you know, kind of, I guess, is it biographical in nature? Yeah. Is that the word? I always spend like the whole ride home Googling the actual story. But it's going a little deep here for a second, but it's a good reminder. I mean, it sounds cliche, but you know, they had all this success in the world, and they all suffered immensely, you know, in their personal lives. And it's just a good reminder, I think, just in how you live your life and what you value. And you know, I mean, I'm not looking to like sell 1 million records or anything, but it's just on the very basic level, you know, how much, you know, where your priorities lie, basically. And I don't know, it's just a great reminder. They're all very interesting men, I think, on their own account, and then together as a group, you know, they were great. So anyway, we had found a good parking spot, so we were able to kind of sneak out pretty easily. And so we're driving home now, and what time is it? Oh gosh.
We'll get home about 12:30.
12:30, which means that I'll be just in time to still give Luke plenty of feedings tonight. Oh, but it's been such a good break, and I think yeah, I told Kurt I kind of had a bad attitude at dinner because he's smiling because he knows it's true. I think it's just hard, and this is just me like wanting to be authentic and, you know, transparent in what I say. I think it's very hard for me that we only had like a few hours away, because what I told Kurt, like, really frankly, what I need is I need just a solid night's sleep of no interruptions, just uninterrupted sleep, even just like a 6-hour uninterrupted stretch, you know, just 1 night of sleep, and then even just spending the day in St. Louis with Kurt, like, just to not feel rushed, or that I have to like really hurry and, you know, get rushed through stores or whatever. And that sounds selfish, but on another level I don't think it is, because I just think it's just like tonight helped recharge me in some ways, but it's still I'm still, I think, running a deficit just in like sleep, but also in just kind of stepping away and having some personal time. And it's been good to get, I mean, like, and that's the thing, I feel so awkward talking about this with Kurt in the car next to me, because I have such a good support system, and I'm able to, you know, if I need to go to Target or whatever, like, Kurt will always watch the kids, and I can go whenever I need to. I think it's just, it's, as mothers, I think it's really hard for us to just step away, you know, for longer than an hour at Target. I think it's hard. It's hard to coordinate. I have 4 kids, you know, and then I homeschool too, and so I think there's that layer as well. I wouldn't trade any of that for anything. But I think Luke, not Kurt. I think Luke is getting to a point where it's going to be easier to step away for like a little bit longer, you know, than an hour. And that's why tonight was good, is that it, you know, we were gone from like what, 2:30 until midnight, which seems like a really long time, but you know how it is, like in mom hours, it's like you blinked. That makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but it was a great night, and I'm so excited. We have another show in August, and then Kurt was so sweet, and for our anniversary he got us season tickets to the Fox Theater in St. Louis, and there's an amazing season this fall and winter, and like amazing shows that I can't wait to see. And so that's going to get us back in kind of a regular date schedule, I guess. There's about 1 a month, I think it averages out to.
And the concert.
And the concert, yeah, I told him about that. I think in my 3rd Q&A that should go up. You should probably have seen that by now. But yes, we're gonna go see Elton John October the 30th. It's on my calendar. Can't wait for that. So I think it's like we're turning a corner. I keep saying that in every video I make, but we really are. And if anyone has been through the newborn season recently, or at all, ever, like, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just, for me, it is slow going. Getting back in the game and feeling like I can leave my baby for a little bit of time. It's just, that's hard for me to do. But I know it's needed, and I recognize that for my mental health. So tonight was really good, and it was awesome seeing Mark Ballas. He did a great job. I felt like I was watching Dancing with the Stars, but the Frankie Valli version was so good. And he's very talented. He's a very talented actor, musician, in general. So he was great, and we had a great time. So we're gonna head home to our kiddos and just enjoy the weekend. So I hope you guys enjoyed kind of tagging along with us, and I don't really know all the footage that I got, but hopefully that gave you kind of an idea of what we did, and I don't know. So hopefully you can tag along with us next time we do something fun. And I will talk to you guys soon. Be sure to subscribe and comment. I love to hear from you guys. So feel free to send me, you know, an email, comment, whatever. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being so supportive, and I will talk to you soon.